In a small village nestled near the Great Plains, there lived a young woman named Amina, renowned for her kindness, beauty, and strength of spirit. As the time neared for her to marry, her family eagerly consulted a respected prophetess, Mama Kunto, who was known for her visions of the future. Mama Kunto closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and announced that Amina's future husband would be named John. "Only a man named John can fulfill the promise of your love," she whispered, her voice filled with a mysterious wisdom. Amina, filled with anticipation and a hint of shyness, accepted this destiny. Her heart fluttered at the thought of meeting a man named John, imagining what he would be like. She believed in the prophecy fully, and each night she would dream of the future she would build with him. Little did she know, her journey was about to take a twist that even she couldn't foresee. Weeks passed and soon, word spread that Amina was seeking a man named John. To her surprise, 5 men came forward, each eager for a chance at her heart. But there was a catch. All 5 of them bore the name John. There was John the weaver, whose strong hands spun the finest fabrics; John the hunter, whose courage and skill kept the village fed; John the healer, who tended to the sick and wounded; John the farmer, whose fields provided endless harvest; and John the poet, whose words could melt even the hardest hearts. Amina's heart raced as she met each of them. They were each extraordinary in their own way, each possessing qualities that she admired. But who was her true John? Who was the one destined by the prophecy? She smiled, but deep within, a storm of questions brewed, as she knew she could only choose one. With her mind swirling with possibilities and confusion, Amina decided to seek guidance once again from Mama Kunto. She journeyed to the old woman's hut by the river, hoping that the prophetess could help her find clarity. She explained the situation, describing each John and expressing her bewilderment. Mama Kunto listened patiently, her eyes revealing a sadness that Amina hadn't seen before. "Amina, my dear," she said, her voice carrying a weight that sank into Amina's heart. "The true John, he has left this world. He passed away yesterday." Amina gasped, feeling the pang of loss for a man she had never met, but somehow already cherished. Yet, Mama Kunto's words were gentle but firm. "Your true journey lies ahead, child. Among these 5 Johns, you must find the one whose spirit is the closest to the John of my prophecy." Determined to honor Mama Kunto's words, Amina knew what she must do. She would spend time with each John, hoping to sense the spirit of the man who was meant for her. Her heart ached with the loss of the John she'd never know, but she steeled herself, knowing that the path before her was now one of discovery and courage. She decided to start with John the weaver, a man known for his quiet strength and skillful hands. She visited his workshop the next day, watching as he worked with threads of different colors, creating intricate patterns that seemed to dance under his fingers. Amina found herself fascinated by his craftsmanship, and for a moment she felt a flutter of something deeper. Could he be the one? As days turned into weeks, Amina spent more time with John the weaver. She admired his patience, the way he listened carefully to her, and the way he found beauty in even the simplest of things. He told her stories of his ancestors, weavers like him, and how he believed every pattern held a story. Amina wondered if her heart could be woven into his world. Yet, as much as she liked him, something held her back. The feeling she had with him was one of comfort, like a well-worn cloth, but it lacked the spark that she imagined would come with true destiny. She cherished the moments they shared, but as she sat by the fire that night, she knew she must continue her journey. Next, Amina sought out John the hunter, whose bravery was as legendary as the tales of his encounters with wild beasts. With him, she roamed the forest, learning to track animals and discovering the secrets of the trees. His spirit was wild, adventurous, and fiercely protective. and Amina felt a thrill in his presence that she hadn't experienced before. But one day, as they watched the sun set over the treetops, Amina realized something. As exciting as her time with him was, his world was one of solitude, a life that thrived in wild freedom. She admired him deeply, but she knew her path could not end here. Her heart still held a longing that he couldn't quite satisfy. John the healer was the gentlest of them all, his hands delicate and steady as he cared for the sick. He took her under his wing, teaching her remedies and herbs, sharing his wisdom with a tenderness that touched her deeply. Amina's heart softened as she watched him work, and there were moments she felt she could see herself by his side, aiding him in his selfless life of healing. But as much as she adored him, her spirit craved something more than the serene life he offered. She felt torn, realizing that the qualities she desired most were scattered among the men she admired. Each one seemed to embody a piece of the John she sought, yet none fully completed the picture in her heart. Amina continued her journey, spending time with John the farmer and John the poet. She marveled at the farmer's diligence and his devotion to nurturing life from the soil, and she was enchanted by the poet's words, which breathed life into her dreams and aspirations. Each chapter of her journey revealed another aspect of love, kindness, strength, and joy. But Amina's heart continued to search, piecing together these qualities like threads in a tapestry. Through conversations, shared laughs, and quiet moments of reflection, Amina learned about herself, her needs, and the kind of love she wanted. The more time she spent with each John, the closer she came to recognizing the one who was the true embodiment of Mama Kunto's prophecy. After months of soul-searching, Amina realized the truth. The spirit of her John had not truly left this world. Mama Kunto's prophecy had been fulfilled, not by one man, but by the collective qualities she found in each of them. Her true love wasn't limited to a single John. It was woven together by all the traits she admired in each of the men she had come to know and care for. One evening, as she sat with John the weaver, she understood that he was the man she wanted to marry. He wasn't perfect, and he didn't embody every quality she desired, but his quiet, steady love had woven itself into her heart. She saw in him the reflection of the man she'd been searching for all along. Amina and John the weaver were married under the stars, with the other 4 Johns there to celebrate her journey. Each of them had touched her life in a unique way, and they each held a place in her heart. As they celebrated, Mama Kunto watched from a distance, a knowing smile gracing her lips. Amina and her true John spent the rest of their days weaving not only fabrics, but a life rich in love, friendship, and harmony. In her journey, she had found the love she sought, and in her heart, she cherished each moment and each lesson learned. And they lived happily ever after, honoring the prophecy and the journey that had led them to each other.